Strange twist almost daily in the case of a former KGB spy who was poisoned. For instance, now a Russian man linked to the case claims he has received death threats. With us now is Alex Konanikin. He's a Russian businessman and author with a bizarre story of his own. His new book is called Defiance, and a pleasure to have you here with us.
Good night, Andrea.
When you were in Russia, you were known as the Bill Gates of that country, close ties with former leader Boris Yeltsin. Then all of a sudden, your life turned around. What happened?
Well, it was the part of the same story which includes putting in jail my former partner Mikhail Khodorkovsky, who was the richest man in Russia, and killing of Colonel Alexander Litvinenko. It was a part of the process in which KGB again took over Russia.
Now, they took over Russia, but a lot of experts have said, why such a public killing, a poison that leaves so much evidence and is so public in the way it destroys the person? Why do you think that?
That's exactly the point. You see, after the more than 10-year experiment with democracy in Russia, there are quite a few people who got accustomed in voicing their opinion. Not that many, but still many enough. Many enough to kill them quietly one by one. Instead, you need to send a message, a chilling message, something which would be so shocking and so frightening to everybody that such criticism would stop, and nobody would dare to question how President Putin came to power.
As you say in your book titled Defiance, anyone who defies is in jeopardy. You found yourself in jail. How did you get out of Russia? Are you still afraid for your freedom and that of your family?
Well, I was kidnapped in 1992 on my business trip to Budapest. I was kidnapped by KGB agents. I was luckier than many of my colleagues. I was able to escape alive, and I was able to flee to the United States.
How did you do that? I would think the KGB is efficient enough to hold on to someone they kidnap.
You see, they were very efficient in actually executing the kidnapping itself. But the kidnapping was not the purpose. The purpose was taking over my bank, at that time the largest commercial bank in Russia, and my other companies. It was worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And to execute that part, they needed skills which they did not have, business expertise. So it allowed me to gain some time, and then I saw an opportunity to escape. It was a miracle, and it would be too long of a story to describe it here.
Exactly. You escaped to the United States. Litvinenko was in London, and this may have happened, the poisoning in London. As I asked before, are you still worried about your personal safety?
Oh, yes, I am. In fact, in 1995, the FBI officially notified me that they discovered a contract on my life here in America, and they also strongly advised me not to reveal my whereabouts to the Russian government, because the Russian government was complicit in the efforts to eliminate me here on American soil. And in fact, And
the Russian government being Vladimir Putin, the president, putting the finger solely on him?
No, President Putin was not the president at the time. But he was the part of the KGB, of the system which brought him to power. And that was the system which was gaining power by taking over largest commercial enterprises like mine, and later Mikhail Khodorkovsky's oil company, Yukos, which is probably the most notorious case in recent history.
We have just a few seconds left. The investigation is ongoing. The FBI has even been called in to help out with that. What do you think will be the outcome? Will we ever really know who is responsible for Litvinenko's murder, for the journalist's murder? Will Vladimir Putin be directly accused of any of this?
Well, if it ever happens, it's going to take a long time. In my particular case, it took 7 years before courts found that Russian government engineered criminal charges against me in order to punish me for exposing corruption, and I'm quoting, and it took 7 years, and it took detention by VNS. I spent 15 months in jail, so it was a very long and torturous process, and I believe that London case is going to take at least that much time.
That much time. Alex Konanikin, thank you very much for being here with us. His book is called Defiance. And straight ahead.